Brought to you by Penguin.
War and Power. Who Wins Wars and Why? By Phillips Payson O'Brien. Read by Theo Solomon. To the people of Ukraine, you have had to endure the worst depredations of war because of a basic inability in others to understand power. Introduction. The Failure. I need ammunition, not a ride. When Volodymyr Zelensky reportedly said this on the 25th of February 2022, he was speaking with a US government official who was offering to have the Ukrainian president spirited out of his country. While most people have focused on Zelensky's bravery and defiance in the face of the full-scale Russian invasion, from now on, the Russian full-scale invasion of 24th of February 2022 will be referred to, for the sake of clarity, as the Russian invasion. This in no way detracts from the fact that the original Russian invasion of Ukraine was in 2014. What has been missed is that Zelensky was also offering a stunning rebuke to the US government's vision of war and power. That the offer of a US emergency evacuation was being made to Zelensky speaks volumes about how the US government understood the power balance between Ukraine and Russia, and how the US believed a conventional war between the two was bound to play out. On the other hand, faced with the reality of the Russian army attacking all around the Ukrainian border, Zelensky was convinced Ukraine could fight, and fight well. In the US government's mind, Russia was and had been for many years a great power with a modernized and technologically advanced military that was a peer or near peer to America's own. Ukraine, in comparison, was a much weaker state, riddled by corruption and a divided identity, which would be able to offer only limited resistance to mighty Russia. As such, the result of a war to the US government seemed certain. In a matter of days, the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv, would be enveloped and Ukrainian conventional resistance devastated, if not completely ended. If Zelensky were not evacuated immediately, the US government judged he would be imminently overrun by the fast-moving, awesomely powerful Russian military. This is no overstatement. In closed-door briefings to Congress in early February 2022, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley, made deeply pessimistic claims about the ability of Ukraine to resist a Russian attack. The senior military advisor to the President of the United States, with the resources of the Pentagon at his fingertips, Milley asserted that if the Russians launched an invasion, Kyiv could fall in only 72 hours. With more than 100,000 Russian troops massed on the border of Ukraine, Milley judged that the Russians had the firepower and military capabilities to undertake modern combined arms warfare against their Ukrainian target. Indeed, the Russian advantage was considered so great that even though it was the Russians that would be doing the attacking, Milley estimated that Ukraine would suffer almost 4 times as many battle deaths. He stated that should a major Russian invasion occur, the Ukrainians would suffer 15,000 battle deaths, in comparison to a Russian total of 4,000. In short, Ukraine would be overwhelmed. This view was also shared widely in the analytic community that was advising the US government. It's worth stepping back here and pondering the importance of these views of Russia's military strength and the war it would be able to wage. For years, it was argued by the supposedly most knowledgeable experts on the Russian state and military that Russia was a great power with battle-tested and devastating forces. As Samuel Sharap, one of the leading analysts of the Russian military for the Rand Corporation, arguably the US government's most important strategic studies think tank, described the situation, Russia was so strong that the West should not even bother to arm Ukraine.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?